All
Are you
right.
guys ready?
Welcome to Regan's Corner for a showdown between the Kouts Mustangs and South Central Satellites on the network that puts athletes first. The Satellites just got out of a pretty long game, went to double overtime against Trinity, won, and they ended up winning 48 to 46. You want to talk about that, Dusty?
Yeah, I mean it was a crazy game, it kind of felt like, towards the beginning of the game that South Central, maybe should have been the better team and should have maybe pulled away with that one, but Trinity kept it close throughout the whole game. Towards the end of regulation, it kind of felt like Trinity was going to win it. South Central tied it up. It went into overtime. And then not only that, it went into double overtime where South Central secured the 2-point win, 48 to 46. So, yeah, coming off of that win, now they're taking on a 2-2 Kouts team.
Yeah, I mean that game was full of turnovers on both teams. I mean, we those quarters were long because the time was stopping a lot, just of passes that were out of bounds, stolen. There was traveling, a lot of mistakes by both teams. So I don't think the Satellites are going to get away with that playing Kouts here. All right. They are 1-0 at away, so they're hoping to keep that away streak going. 1-1 at home. How are you feeling about the Kouts game, Daniel?
So, a big thing that I really need to see is I need to see Colton Bennett have another big night, averaging 14 points per game, shooting 50% from the field. If the Satellites want to win against this very, very tough Kouts team, he needs to have a good night. He needs to get started quick.
Yeah, I agree. He's a big part of the Satellites team. Not only being the leading scorer, but he's the one of the tallest ones, 6'2", and a senior. So he provides a lot of leadership for the team, along with Daniel Hale and Braden Loudback, who's also 6'4" and a senior. He's the one that you want under the basket, getting a lot of rebounds, which the Satellites didn't really do a good job of last game either. They weren't really on point with their shots, so they got maybe one or two chances to score on offense instead of the hoping, closer to the 3 to 4 range if you're not making your shots. And, I'm looking to see Bennett step up a little bit more. I think he can score more.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he can hit 20.
No, go ahead.
I definitely think Bennett can get closer to 20.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, like Colton Bennett, he's of course the best scorer on this team, but Braden Grass, he really needs to get on the boards, as he is the leading rebounder on this team with almost 5 rebounds per game. So he should be a big part of this game on the inside.
Right, yeah, and the Kouts are going to look to – they're 0-1 at home, so they're looking to put on a show for their audience here. Of course, they had a big ceremony right before this. I'm sure they're feeling pretty confident. So I think the Satellites really, like you were saying before, they have to clean it up to stay in this one.
Yeah, I mean, Kouts. So they've already had a conference game this year. They beat Hebron 52 to 37. So this is their second conference game of the year. But for South Central, this is actually their first conference game this year, and they're hoping to go 1-0 to start off their conference play.
Oh yeah, and I think the Satellites need to have a solid game for this season. They started a little later than pretty early on. They don't have a lot of scouting reports on the other teams, which is what makes the beginnings of the season pretty difficult. You don't really know about maybe some outstanding freshmen that might pop into the varsity lineup, and you're going to see how much better those older athletes have gotten in the offseason. Looks like a big crowd tonight. I mean, both sides seem full.
Yeah, I mean, compared to last night's game, for the girls, it kind of felt like the stands were deserted, for the most part. But here today for the Kouts boys playing South Central, yeah, I mean the stands are pretty filled.
Yeah, and I think although I don't think it's a determining factor, but the amount of energy does affect how you play, and it can be a real downer as the opposing team when your mistakes are being loudly cheered for. And when you do something good, it's kind of like push off to the side. So hopefully the Satellites can keep up their confidence even with that factor in.
Yeah, that's always a big thing. And these road games are so tough. And a big thing for the Satellites this year will be overcoming that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is when you're at away games, you need a good warm-up. You need a focused, productive, effective warm-up to really get you in the game mindset. Kind of on, and get used to the feel of the gym. Lining's different. It may be bigger, smaller. Not a huge factor that's going to go into your play, but it is something that you want to try to control as best as you can.
Yeah.
And as we see, the dance team killing it, as per usual. They've been doing this the whole warm-up, so putting in their work. And it's looking here like Grass is actually the leading rebounder on the Satellites, getting an average of 4. That definitely needs to go up. I would say 4 rebounds as their leading rebounder is not enough, I think, to go far in their conference wins.
No, I would really like to see it above 10.
Yeah, definitely, Daniel. I think that Braden Grass, he could be a little more aggressive on the boards. I think averaging a little more rebounds per game could help out the Satellites. But I just wanted to mention that South Central, trying to extend their winning streak to 2 in a row, while Kouts actually lost their last game, so they're looking to get back in the win column here at home.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. They want a solid win here, and I don't think they're going to hold back. A great performance here. How exciting. But anyways, I think our seniors really need to step up on the rebounding, because a lot of rebounding is, it's partially being in the right place at the right time, but it's also you really have to want rebounds. You have to stay under the basket. You can't cheat and try to headbutt on defense a little bit early. And I'm looking to see, we have taller players, Bennett and Luttenbeck, that are not doing well on the boards, as you kind of expect from the players that are a bit taller.
Yeah, definitely. I think that, size is definitely a factor, but like I said in the game before, I think the most important thing when it comes to rebounds is blocking out, because I mean there can be, the tallest player on the court, but if there's a smaller guy blocking him out, that rebound can land right in front of him. So I think blocking out is going to be key for South Central today.
Yeah, absolutely. Boxing out is the way to rebound. And I think we saw that with the girls the other day. A few plays, they boxed out every single one of the other team. And, they got a lot of over the back calls and a lot of rebounds because of it.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of looking to see a bit of a high-paced start at the beginning of this. I think, in general, the Satellites are kind of a run and gun team. We didn't really get to see that last game just because they threw the ball away a lot on their offense, but they start out strong in the beginning. They get most of their points in the first and second quarter, and they kind of taper out in the third and fourth. So I'm looking to see them play a little better in their third and fourth quarter to, keep challenging the opposing team.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they can kind of do that and not stagnate.
I think they're doing the national anthem now.
Oh.
It's just you can't really hear it that well.
Let me see if it's this.
Oh, there we go.
Hopefully that's not too loud.
I think that's pretty good.
Right. Okay, while they're doing starting lineups, who do you have? I guess we should wait till they do tip off. Never mind. I'll ask this question later. Oh, it looks like the Satellites got to bring their cheerleaders too, so they do have quite a bit of support here.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of looking at earlier. I was wondering because I saw Kouts, on the left side, and then I was like, wait, isn't that South Central colors? It's like I think that's our South Central cheerleaders. Yeah, so that's kind of crazy. They came along for the ride. Like, I don't think that usually happens.
Yeah, I mean, they're amazing, so they deserve to be able to cheer as much as they can.
Yeah, they should be able to present their talent elsewhere. Yeah.
You can just hear how loud that gym is. Lots of energy. That's exactly what the Kouts want.
Definitely. I mean, a lot of Kouts fans there, but I mean, for South Central, you don't really want to feel discouraged because, of course, you have some of your own fans there. And I mean, really, the only support that you really need is like of your teammates,
Right. And I don't think I'm ever going to pronounce my name right. I keep telling myself how to pronounce it right, and I never do.
Which one?
Kouts.
Oh, Kouts. Oh, I think you just put an R in there. So, I mean, it's just...
Yeah, because, I think of, sauerkraut, so I say
sauerkraut.
that.
Yeah, I kind of heard you saying Krauts, so I was like, wait, no, it's Kouts. Yeah, just try not to add the R in there.
Right.
Be all right. But it looks like we are about to kick this thing off.
All right. Who do you guys have winning tip-off? I have Satellites, I think.
Our guy definitely looks taller.
Yeah, he looks like he got a couple inches on him.
6'3".
Yeah. Let's see who has more hops.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Oh.
They do win the tip.
And able to control it. Here we go.
All right, and looks like they're playing man. And probably a bit of half a step off. Satellites passing it around. Running it pretty well, I think. They look pretty clean here. And they're being very patient, which is what you want on offense.
Yeah, I think here early. Yeah, that's a nice shot there.
Great take by Colin Welsh, I believe, as he now is guarding ball.
Yeah, I think that was the perfect look there early for South Central.
And they get another drive back.
Those will be huge here.
Yeah. I think how the Satellites are able to respond is and capitalize on any opportunity they get from any steals or deflections on defense are important.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be probably a back and forth game. So I think that, South Central is going to really have to keep up with Kouts.
Yeah, just based off the Kouts defense right now, they seem to be not as aggressive as the other team and kind of not really in those passing lanes. So, as they steal the ball there, a bit of a, not protecting the ball by Colton Bennett and dribbling into trouble.
As they get the layup on the other side. So 4-2 game.
Oh,
Nice shot there in the paint.
I believe that was Braden Grass showing a lot of energy on the court right now, which is exactly what the Satellites need. And, I think you expect energy from a player that gets rebounds. That's kind of the role that they play. They're kind of always after the ball. Ooh, and a great look there by the Kouts, just backdoored 2 players for an easy layup.
Yeah, that was a great pass inside. It's just backdoor. A little simple.
Right, yeah, just catching the Satellites off guard as they're looking to score here. Ooh, and hits the back of one of the Kouts players, and they step out of bounds, giving it to the Satellites.
And it's those passes like that one that kind of mess up the groove for South Central. That's exactly what they were doing last game.
Yeah, like you said, and they just did it again with a bad pass that I think led to an and one. They looked solid. That first play looked really solid. So I'm just hoping that this is a bit of nerves and they're able to get back to that pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think if they could really limit their turnovers, then I think they would have a better chance in this one.
Yeah, and really those 2 passes that led to their scores were just not taking care of the ball by Bennett, and then, a weird pass that just wasn't quite on target. Ooh, you saw a little move there as Bennett goes in for a layup and gets fouled.
Yeah, that was a great drive there. That really shows how aggressive this South Central team can be if they, really look for their shot.
Yeah, and, a great take by Bennett. I often say players kind of, when they go in for layups, they often are going in looking for a foul, not looking to score. And there I think Bennett was looking to score, and he got that foul. So really is what you want from your top player.
And he hit both.
Yeah, and he hit both, tying them 6-6, I believe. Oh, great hands there.
What a rejection there for Welsh. Yeah, Derek Welsh. What a block.
He's on it. As a pass around, just looking for an opening that Satellites aren't giving him.
Yeah, really nice defense here for South Central. And not really giving them an open shot, making them work for it.
Right, yeah. I mean, that was great defense. That was a good take, and they did well on not fouling on that. Oh! They're ready. They're running and gunning here. They're looking to score. Colton Bennett at the line again after... Oh, okay, they didn't call it a shooting foul, but Satellites get to pass it in. Oh. 3-point that didn't quite make us called off anyways. And it's Kouts' ball. Interesting. I'm not too sure. Did they say call a travel or anything there? Did you guys see that?
I think it was an offensive foul.
Okay. Yeah. They are doing great on defense. They're low to the ground. Their stance is amazing. As the travel call there.
Yeah,
they have great hands right now.
Exactly. Like, great defense like that will cause those turnovers, and I think that's going to be really important for them today.
Yeah, and keeping those hands low and having palms up is going to help from fouling too.
Ooh, but they give it right back.
Right, exactly. Their passes just aren't as good as you're hoping, as they're down by 5 and both have 2 fouls. I mean, they're hanging in there. Those offensive passes need to get cleaner, or they need to be a little bit more trying to get open on their offense. What was the shot fake to go in for the little jumper. Made. I think that just shows kind of how excited the Satellites are right now, which I think is also leading to some bad passes and some bad takes like that one. Just jumping the gun a little bit too much. There we go.
Let's see if they can clean it up here.
Yeah, another grass rebound. For the Satellites to get a 3, maybe? Ooh.
That was a little bit off the mark.
By Derek Welsh, but that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, you saw South Central there with the early aggression, but I think Kouts is actually trying to match that aggression with that drive right there.
Right, yeah. So I believe Andrews is on shooting on the line as he misses his first free throw. And, looking for another grass rebound after this one. But they make it, and the Satellites are taking up the court, looking to get another good play of passing to look for a good shot.
Yeah, and you can't really see the score that well, but I believe it's 15-5 right now.
Yes, I believe so too.
So 10-point game.
As Derek Welsh has taken it in, goes right over the hoop, and the Kouts get the ball. Kouts get the ball. Playing solid defense and get another traveling call. As we have Braden Lauenbach, our 6'4" senior, subbing in. I'm hoping to see him make some good plays on the court.
Yeah, and so South Central gets the ball back right here. Maybe they can, trim the deficit to, single digits and keep this game within reach.
Yeah, and that's just purely their defense has been fairly solid. That's just their passing on offense has been keeping them from scoring.
Yeah, so if they can
cut three, drains it.
Some more of those would be a trick for sure.
Yeah,
I believe that was Braden Grass with the long 3.
Yeah, it might have been. Huge 3 right there for the Satellites. Now they just need a D up right here. Got the baseline layup to go.
Yeah, it just slips through. Those are kind of tough to guard. You don't want to have a reaching foul. And I believe the Satellites called timeout. A good one, I think.
Yeah, and usually the baseline, the one driving the ball, usually has that advantage on the baseline, and it really showed right there for Kouts.
Right, yeah, and that's just kind of show that they're able to really take advantage of catching the Satellites, being a little lazy. Whoever was defending him, they probably saw him flat-footed and knew that he could get around him. And, help can only do so much when they're already that close to the basket. It's just a good call, really, just stand in front and just put your arms up. Kind of let the ball decide.
Yeah, exactly what you just said. It's the help. It's gonna be only so helpful. It's
right.
not gonna be able to stop him like that.
And the Satellites bring the ball up. Oh, takes it in. Braden Grash with the 2. 5 points in about a minute of time here. He's holding his weight. And he's doing great.
Everyone else needs to pick it up some
right
for
there.
Sure.
As the Satellites go into 2-3 zone. Sorry, what did you say?
Everyone else needs to step up on his level, and they'll get back in no time.
Right,
good move there for Kouts as they get the layup to go.
Yeah, good move, but that's not very good defense. You're jumping at the ball like that isn't the play. You want a nice, good closeout where you're doing those tiny little steps and arms up, not full commit and jumping up in the air for a block.
Yeah, and now Kouts was all over South Central on that possession, able to get the turnover. I think South Central just needs to really calm down right here and, try to force a stop.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Satellites are kind of caught in this limbo of not giving enough energy, that they are getting beat on defense and then giving too much at the wrong things.
Good looking side, and that's a N1 for Kouts.
Yeah, when you're jumping up in the air, swinging down, they're going to call a foul. You have to be more disciplined on defense than the Satellites are being right now.
Yeah, so it's Colton Hammond at the line trying to complete the 3-point play.
And he does. We have Colin Welsh subbing in now for Raging Grass. He was a big person on the team. So let's see what the Satellites can do without him. As they bring the ball up, trying to beat the Kouts man-on-man defense that's been fairly solid, even though they seem to be given quite a bit of room to work with. Satellites are doing a great job passing here. Trying to get the loose ball. The Kouts get it. As they do some quick passes to pass it up. Looking for another layup. But they get the ball even though there's about 3 South Central players there. And they get the foul on a layup. They didn't make it. Just shooting 2, but a bit of a silly foul, I'd say there. A questionable call, maybe. As, it was really only his hand that was up in the air. What do you guys think about that one?
Looked like a fairly solid call.
And he makes both. Extending the Kouts lead in this first quarter as the Satellites come and bring it up. We have Colin Welsh as point guard. The Kouts are stopping right at half court. I believe 21-10 with about 17 seconds left, and the Kouts get the ball again. But miss their layup as they get the rebound, and the Satellites get it. Still four Kouts against 1 Satellite. The Satellites went too soon to go on offense, leaving their point guard behind, and the Kouts were able to get it to score 2 more before the end of the first. I think that kind of their Achilles heel right now is the Satellites are being a bit too energetic here, and they're just zeroing in on the wrong things, I think. How do you feel about the first quarter, Daniel?
Well, I definitely feel like South Central at first was playing very undisciplined, giving the ball away a lot. But I feel like they did clean it up more towards the end. But I hope that they haven't dug too deep of a hole for themselves to climb out of.
Right, yeah, we did kind of see in that, not the last play, but the second to last play, that they were able to keep possession of the ball on offense and was able to pass around and get some different looks. Couldn't score, though, as I think it's 25-10.
Yeah, I mean, South Central, they got the first point of the game, but, ever since then, it kind of feels like Kouts just took charge of the game, and they have a 15-point lead right now.
And they're up. The Satellites are up 5-2 in fouls. They're almost in bonus, which is not what the Satellites need. I think the Satellites need to drive a little bit more to get even with the fouls. And the Kouts bring it up to start the second quarter. We have Colin Welsh guarding the point guard, as the rest of the Satellites are in a switching man, I believe. Oh, what a pass there.
Man, and
straight into the paint for the easy bucket.
Yeah, easy bucket right there. I think that was great defense by South Central, but better offense there for Kouts.
Yeah, absolutely. That was just a great pass. Oh,
nice bucket there.
Didn't know he scored there, but they got the 2-point layup. I believe
Jay
it was
Huerta able to get that one to go. He was
big in their last game of bringing energy and rebounds to get them into the first overtime and continue doing so in double overtime.
Yeah, he was really big in that fourth quarter, and just a really big shot right there as a turnover caused by South Central.
Ooh, not a great shot there. You have 3 Kouts people on you. That's the other thing too is he did come in and bring a lot of energy, but he also did that a little bit and just not taking good shots.
Yeah, as teams going back and forth, they'll take the 3 and that one just off the front of the rim.
Again, you don't really have to take that shot there. It's not the fourth quarter. We don't need a lot of quick threes. But we have Kevin Higley get the rebound. Ooh. As Colin Walsh takes a
no
big
foul called there.
spill there. And they continue play. And I believe the ref should call a timeout right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's still down
on the other end. As Colin Walsh is still on the ground, we hope he's okay. I believe we had another injury in the JV game at the very end, which was unfortunate.
Yeah, just an unfortunate spill there for Walsh.
I believe he's walking to the bench now. He looks okay. I hope we get to see him again in the game.
Yeah, I think he should be fine. I think it was just, he just kind of fell, but I think he should be all right.
It was a big slip there. Hoping it's not a concussion because his head did hit the ground, but we do have some free throws as there was a foul at the other end. He makes the first one. And we have Braden Lawton back, our tall 6'4" senior back in it. Hopefully bring some energy and some senior leadership. Satellites. They miss a second. And Lawton back gets the rebound. Passing it. Bit stuck in a bounce pass in to make the layup. Almost fouled there too. That was a great play and a great pass. Satellites are back on defense, back on man. And they were able to stop that drive too, which is a big stop. Great hands there, tip the ball, but the Calcs get it back. Calcs are patiently passing here, just waiting for the opening. Almost got a 3-point, but decides to pass it back out. And for the 3, there we go. Doesn't make it, and we have a rebound by Braden. The Satellites are down the other end.
Yeah, and South Central really needs a bucket right here.
Good.
Yeah, they do.
They get fouled. Their driving is a bit dangerous, I'd say. Almost over dribbling, I would say the Satellites are.
Yeah,
but they're able to get the foul. Shooting too.
Yeah,
Down, I believe 26-11.
I think that might be 11, maybe 10.
Yeah, I think we have 11. Easy miss. Kevin Higley misses his first free throw.
Yeah, and I think that for South Central, there's really a difference between being too aggressive and being, just the right amount of aggressiveness.
Right. On defense, you need to be aggressive, but you also need to be disciplined, which is, not jumping at the ball as often as Satellites are.
Oh, what a pass.
Another backdoor and passes it. Mathis, but he misses, and the Satellites get the jump ball. Or is that a foul?
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, not quite. I'm pretty sure it's a jump ball, but
this is a good opportunity to start turning it around here.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, start chipping in this lead, and as we say that, it's going to be a traveling violation on South Central.
There's the announcer's jinx right there.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, again, it's, not a lot of pressure on him, and yet just kind of a silly mistake as the come back down.
Exactly. Just one of those mental mistakes that you really cannot make here at this point in the ballgame.
Right, especially, you're seeing a deep 3 misses. And Colin Walsh gets the rebound, bringing it up and taking a little jumper, misses right off the back of the backboard. A good look, I'd say. Maybe could have fully taken it in, but a solid shot that just didn't go in.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty good shot there for Colin Ward, but I think he should have took it in more maybe.
Yeah, and the Kouts look for a three, didn't make it, but then
Oh,
they get that another really backdoor play right there. The Satellites need to
yeah.
start paying more attention to that. The corners here, they're getting killed of these back doors.
Yeah, I feel like they've gotten that back door down low maybe 5 times already.
Yeah, and Braden Grass misses the 3-point. The Kouts bring it back to get, doesn't quite make it. They get the rebound. Just trying to put it up, and they get it.
Oh
2 more
my.
points.
This game is getting out of hand.
It is, it's things like that really, 30-15. It's tough to keep your spirits up, but you gotta fight a little harder for those rebounds. I think when you have, 3 if the Satellites player is only one of theirs, you're hoping and you're expecting to get the rebound defensively.
Yeah, and I think the JV game might have been foreshadowing for this game.
Yeah,
Because it kind of feels like the same type of game.
it is. It's just you're playing a more disciplined team. I think I feel.
Yeah,
As
and
Trumbo gets
I
another.
think
Sorry, go ahead.
I think really boxing out right there in that situation, maybe could have got the rebound, but instead, Kouts was just able to reach over him, get the rebound, and get the bucket.
Absolutely, and we have Colton Bennett coming in for Grass or Lautenbach, I believe. Solid player, and we're looking for the Salad to score more here.
Yeah, they really need one stop right here, and then they absolutely need a bucket on the other end.
Absolutely. That pass yet again, but they're not able to make it. That pass is deadly. And again, the rebounds, they need to fight for those rebounds. But they do get the foul call there, which is great for the Satellites. I believe that was a good call, I would say.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I would definitely say it's a good call. But yeah, they need to be more aggressive on the boards because Couch is getting most of these rebounds.
Yeah, and like you were saying, they're not boxing out. It's easy for an athlete you kind of just get stuck looking at the ball. And you're not really thinking of, the people around you. And Dusty's completely right. They need to find their man and box him out. Oh,
Ooh,
the
just a
Couch
great
just running a
drive.
great offensive play. A lot of movement that
Yeah.
the Satellites just can't seem to be keeping up with.
And
Yeah,
another
they've been
offensive
one-stepping up the
rebound.
whole time.
Here we go. They get the rebound. We have Kevin Higley. He's been pretty good during this game in a lot of the plays.
Maybe should have took that 3.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Ooh,
But a
and the
good drive.
layup
There we go.
by Jack.
Yeah, maybe if somehow they can get this below double digits before halftime.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's doable. They just need to get it together a little bit more in this next minute to,
That's gonna be, that's gonna be a
maybe
foul
not
on
single digits,
Couch.
but I'm hoping that they get, maybe to a 10-point.
Yeah, maybe a couple buckets, couple stops, and go into halftime with some momentum.
Exactly, yeah. They need to have some good plays here to bring up morale. And the Satellites
Yeah,
bring
a
it
quick
up.
3 would be nice here.
It's Colin Walsh's point guard. Passes
Nice
it
drive.
in.
Oh, just
And Brady Grass tries to get the layup, but doesn't quite go in.
another nice
Satellites
drive.
the rebound.
Oh my, that's 2
Again
of them.
with Jack. Hashel just doesn't get in,
Yeah,
but at least they got some rebounds there.
Yeah, just that they just wouldn't fall right there. Easy layups. They were just kind of short.
Right, yeah, and we see that a lot. I feel like we've seen that in quite a few games by both the boys and the girls, just those easy kind of off the glass layups just, falling in, which is focus. It's really just focus on finishing. I think they're
Wow.
focusing too much on passing and getting it around that once they get the ball and get in, they are kind of surprised at where they are on the court and give a little too much, too less power to make the basket.
Yeah, and looks like that's gonna be a foul on South Central, and that'll put Kouts in the bonus.
Yeah, as Baker
Yeah,
makes
try
the
and play
first
more
1-1.
aggressive. Try and play more aggressive hasn't paid off so far.
Right, yeah. It's I think the right thing to say is they need to play disciplined. They need to play their defense looks fairly good until they start to close out. As the Calcs steal the ball and almost and get that layup there. Hammond just finishes pretty smoothly.
Yeah, and it looks like Kouts is gonna finish the half on the 6-0 run.
Yeah, and couldn't get any shot up. 38-17, it looks like. 5-7 fouls. Satellites have a lot to talk about in their locker room. As the Calcs have played a solid game here. That backdoor pass has been big for them. Made a few threes. What do you guys think the Satellites need to do in the second half?
Yeah, I think the Satellites, they really need to work the ball around more, but as they do that, not really make the first choice, maybe make the second choice, and get the defense, catch the defense off guard, because currently they're playing into the defense's hands, and Couch is just taking advantage of them.
Absolutely. What do you
Yeah,
think, Daniel?
I think it all needs to stem from more disciplined play. They're kind of just throwing the ball around, not really doing too much to kind of make sure they don't just throw it away. And then on the offensive or on the defensive side, they're giving up way too many easy looks. They need to try to limit those. I feel like that's the best way for them to kind of chip back into this one.
Yeah, you're totally correct. And we've seen a few glimpses of a great offense and a great defense, but we need to see more of those for them to get back in it. Like I said, their first, offensive play looked promising and good. They had awesome passes, they weren't rushing a shot, and they had a great layup. And we've seen good defense, right? They're able to stop them. They're able to force them to make some bad passes, but their closeouts just aren't really there. And, like I said, that's discipline on the closeout. You need to do it properly, sprint, and then stutter step with arms up and ready to move in case they decide to drive instead of rushing toward your person and jumping up in the air, to try to get a block. And, again, they're also falling for those fakes quite a bit, too, because of that. And a great dance by their dancer cheer team here. Always pretty fun. Get some entertainment when, the game isn't on. And thank you to our sponsor, American Legion, Post 295. And that is for our U.S. Veterans Association. But yeah, I mean, these passes need to be more on target too. They're a little off, I believe, with their passing because we saw that very early on with that pass just hit the back of the Calcs player, and that's just a simple mistake that's just them not aiming well, which I think is also showing in their missed buckets.
Yeah, I would have to agree. They're just kind of not being very careful with shot selection.
Yeah, which is, of course, hard. And, you only really get better at that by practicing it. So it's not going to be something you can fix during a game, really.
Absolutely, and kind of absolutely. So Raina, getting into Colin Ward a little bit more as the senior comes back here, and getting it into Brennan Lautenbach's hands, the sophomore. There, I think is key to get Satellites back into it.
Right, absolutely. We have some players that have just come into the game and really made a difference. And like Josh was saying, the players that are hot and are doing well need to have the ball right now, and that's going to take team chemistry and communication by everyone on the court, and the people on the bench need to be paying attention too, because they need to go in instantly and know what they're doing. I think it's easy to be sitting on the bench and kind of zoning out a bit, especially when you're down by this much. It's easy to do, but you need to be aware for the players that are on the court. They deserve your attention and for you to be ready to come in for them. As you know, we have things like those injuries that can happen at any time. So every single player needs to be ready to go in. And, the Kouts have had a lot of players, kind of come in and make a lot of plays. Not particularly one person that they need to shut down. The team overall is working well. Again, with those backdoor cuts for those easy layups that they're making. And then, their confidence on their threes have been pretty well. And, they can shoot threes because their rebounding is just better than the Satellites too. So they're able to take riskier shots and feel like they're not going to be too punished for it. And here we have the merch. Olivia gets buckets on a crew neck and hat. She had a great game the other night, as per usual.
Yeah,
you can get
did.
that at Regan's Corner merchshop.com. All right, and you can hear the band playing there. Great energy in the crowd. I'm sure the Kouts players are having a great time here. Not so much the Satellites. As we hope when they get out of this timeout that they're ready to put in a lot of work into hustle in both the third and fourth quarter. And, I don't think they're not fouling too much, I'd say. They did have a little point, I would say, at the end of the second quarter where their fouls were getting a little too much and too consistent. But they were able to stop those really once they got into bonus. And, the Kouts team come here, warming up with layups. That's where a lot of their points have been, is these layups. Where they just kiss the ball right off the backboard. And, we're looking to see the Satellites come in and to have the energy that they had. I think their energy is great, but it needs to be channeled in a better way.
Yeah, they need to make sure they're not just getting too kind of antsy and making dumb decisions.
Absolutely. And here we had another great interview with a star athlete. She, as you can see, does both basketball and volleyball. And again, I hope the Satellites come out and maybe shoot a little bit to maybe find their groove. And maybe it's the basket, maybe they'll come out of the second half and make a little bit more on a different hoop. I'm sure, as they hope. Yep, and there they are, warming up with some layups. Looking fairly solid. as we hope this can translate into the game in about 1 minute. Yeah, and I'm looking to see Colton, maybe Colin Welsh, Higley, Lautenbach. I think those are who are going to be in the game first here, as they've been really involved in a lot of the solid plays that the Satellites had in the first half. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I would kind of agree. I think that'll kind of contribute to that, and just kind of seeing if they can get back on track here.
And it looks like both teams are back at their benches, just getting a few more words in. We got 40 more seconds until play starts. And the Kouts probably have a lot of energy right now. They played well.
And yeah, they played well. They're at home. A lot going for them tonight.
Absolutely. And, of course, lots of energy in the gym, too. I'm sure elevating their confidence, which is a huge part of how the game is going to turn out, is your confidence level while you're playing. Because I think that's what's kind of also a contributing factor to those missed passes and missed easy buckets is the confidence issue at sometimes. Maybe you're second-guessing yourself and you're half a second late, and that's what is, enough to make your shot go wrong or to, have another turnover.
Mm-hmm.
The Kouts bring the ball up to start the second half with some fast passing, and they get that look under the hoop again, but didn't quite make it as the ball's all over the place, and the Kouts get the rebound. Again, those strong, fast passes for corner three, and it's absolutely drained there. Great offense from the Kouts. That's hard to defend against. Those passes are fast, and they're hard to get in front of, as the Kouts foul the Satellites there.
This is a Kouts team that just really knows what they're doing, and they know how to exploit the weaknesses that South Central's been showing.
Yeah, absolutely. That just goes to show they know their plays extremely well. Ooh, a shooting foul, which brings Grass to the line. These free throws are big. You need every single point you can get as a Satellites. And he is one of our leading players so far in the game. As he drains the first free throw. He gets one more. And he drains that one too, as the Kouts bring the ball back up. I wonder if they're going to do that fast passing again, as they get their offense set up. Passing around pretty far out. And those quick passes again. And they get a three. Not quite. And Bennett jumps up for that rebound. Bring it up the court. Trying to get that lob pass to Lautenbach, but the Kouts get there first. And they get another look at the three. Hits the back of the rim, and the Satellites get the rebound.
Yeah, and I think South Central really has to take advantage of these missed shots here by Kouts.
Absolutely. They're choosing to take threes now, which are a lot lower percentage than their field goals and layups. And they couldn't quite get the shot, but we have Lautenbach with the putback for 2 points. As the Kouts bring the ball back up. Passing it around the perimeter, another three. Off the opposite side of the rim. Out of bounds. And the Kouts get it. And the timeout is called. How are you guys feeling about the beginning of this third quarter?
I feel like the things that we've been saying South Central needs to do, they're kind of struggling to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and the Kouts came out aggressive. They came out pretty hard. I think kind of with those extremely fast and amazing passes that got the Satellites out of place and easy bucket.
Yeah, I think that Kouts has missed some, open shots, but South Central, they haven't been able to capitalize as much as they would like to. But I think that this game is still in reach for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Like they get good looks, but 3 points are low percent as the Celts bring it in. And the Satellites in a 2-3 to start the half. Working pretty well as they get a tip. But the ball is out, and they still give it to the Satellites. Great defense as the Celts are pressing. Hopefully they can still get the ball in. And they pass it right to the Celts. Try to get a leading pass there. And they go in for the layup. They make it in the and one by Mathis. He goes to the line to shoot one. I mean, that press, again, I think the Satellites don't do well under pressure. And that kind of goes to show there. Once you see a press, you need more than, one person trying to get that inbounds pass. And you need to make that decision as soon as you see the press happen. Kouts miss the free throw, and the Satellites hit the rebound, but pass it right back to the Kouts for a layup. And they make that one. They're in their press still. The Satellites try to just throw the ball in. The Kouts get it back again. And they're on offense passing it around, looking for a shot. A lot of movement here. But they're kind of bringing the energy back down with some perimeter passes. And they tried to go in for a layup, but Grass is just too strong. He bounces right off of him. And the corner shot there, a solid look. Satellites just out of position there for that 6-foot jumper. It's out of bounds on the Satellite side. Off the Kouts. They're looking for an inbound pass that's going to give them an easy layup here. I think, the Satellites are not doing well in this press at all.
No, it's not going as they kind of intended for it to, and that's pretty evident.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of, panic passes. As the Kouts get the ball on the other end, slowing you down a bit. As, they have all the time in the world being up 25-21. The Satellites get the rebound after a jumper. Was just missed by the Kouts. Satellites doing their pass and drive play. Tries to get the layup, but ends up getting fouled. And we have Colin Welsh at the free throw line shooting 2. Solid offensive play there by the Satellites. Good passing and enough to get the foul. Oof. Just kind of slides right off of the rim there. And, these free throws are big. They're about, a lot of the points that the Satellites are going to get.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And misses a second. Satellites try to tap that back in, but the Kouts ends up getting the ball. Ooh, they got the behind the back pass to the and one. I think Trumbo got that, or no. Andrews. How do you guys feel about that?
I didn't think that was the best decision he could have made there, and now they're down even more, so it definitely had repercussions.
I mean, they're getting a bit stylish here. They did a little behind the back, over the head pass for an and one. That's a big play there by the Kouts. Kind of showing off a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I think Kouts really thinks that they have South Central exactly where they want them, and South Central really needs to break that.
Well, the Kouts go in front of the layup, misses it, but they get the rebound and the jumper. Again, those rebounds are killing the Satellites here. They need to fight for every single one of those. Bennett takes it in for a layup, a collision, and they get the blocking foul. I believe it was on the floor. So they're going to do an inbound pass, I believe. Or a shooting foul. It's looking like a shooting foul. Nope, just kidding. It wasn't an inbound pass, and Bennett gets subbed out after taking kind of a big fall there. And we have Kevin Higley in the play. He's been doing quite a bit for the Satellites, too. I've called his name out a few times. Satellites pass the ball away to the Kouts, and they go in for another layup, and they make it. Satellites get the ball in quickly, and they go up the court, trying to let that press get set up, and they go for a long two. They miss, and we have a rebound by Higley. He tries to go back up, doesn't make it. Scround. A little chaotic to get the ball, but it's called a jump, and the Satellites get the back. Again, looking for a nice inbound play here to hopefully score. Oh.
Yeah, they need it.
And the Kouts just tipped the ball right back out, so they're going to set up again. A bad pass there. Grass was not open. But the Satellites are struggling with their leading passes here. They try to do it in the post, they try to do it in the press, and it's just always a little too short or a little too long. So the Satellites get it in, and they're trying to make their offense work, and they get a jumper. Bounces off the rim, and the Kouts get the ball. Bring it up. They have all the time in the world here. They don't need to rush anything. And so the Satellites need to put pressure on them. And we get a travel call. The Satellites get the ball. Down 52-23. And the Kouts are pressing again. It's hard to get that ball in. But they end up doing it. And they get it past the half. And, we saw Dylan Hale looking for the ball, but it was not there when they passed it. There we go. The Kouts have their signature great passing. And they get another easy 2-point. And off the press, almost get the ball, but the Satellites get it back, and they steal it right away from Noah Howard. Got a look, but didn't take the three there as they're passing around the perimeter, going in a little bit in the paint. Satellites are playing good defense there.
Yeah, that was
not really giving them anything. But they do foul, and the Kouts are taking the ball out for an inbound play. I think the Satellites need to guard basket here. This is, prime opportunity for an easy off-the-glass layup. Arms up. The Kouts get it in as they get the great look. Misses a layup, but gets a rebound, puts it right back in. And the Satellites are going up the court. Oh, goes in for the layup, doesn't quite make it. Colin Welsh with the good play there just wasn't quite there, and, didn't get that rebound either. And the Euro step by the Kouts didn't make it, and the Satellites get the rebound. Another turnover by the Satellites, and they go in for another layup. Nice assist pass there. Trying to get up there, just can't. They have to pass it out. No, again, that that backdoor play is really helping the Kouts here, and you're hoping that the Satellites kind of pick up on that again and are keeping track of every player on the court. They tried to do that leading pass again, just a little too long. And Braden Grass just couldn't quite grab it. And it goes out of bounds for the Kouts to pass it in. Satellites get set up at half court as the Calcs bring it up. Mathis as the point guard, looking to make some plays. Up 58-23, I believe. A solid game for the Calcs. As the Satellites are doing decent defense there, but again, just a little bit too much by Braden Grass to try to get a block. As they try to pass it in, the Calcs get it again. Their press is tough for the Satellites, too. There you go. Off the steal, they get 2 more points. And the buzzer beater is made. Grass for the 3 as the end of the third quarter is here. And we see the Satellite shooters get to take the court and entertain some Satellites. What do you guys think should be the focus on for the Satellites in this fourth quarter?
I mean,
definitely want to focus on the fouls, like not committing as many.
Yeah, I think the fouls have, been a problem, but I would give more credit to Kouts in this one because I think Kouts just they feel like they're the better team. They got a little bit more talent, and so South Central, they've been doing their best, but they've just been having silly mistakes, and they just haven't been able to knock down shots.
Absolutely. The Satellites are giving energy, right? They're going out there and they're still trying to stay in it. But, I think the Calcs got up and, when you're up early on, it's a kind of easy sailing from that point, You don't really have that thought in your mind that you might lose. You're kind of just thinking about the positive of instead of, when you're on the losing end, it's a bit harder to focus.
Yeah.
Calcs ball, they pass it in. They pass around the perimeter, looking for an open shot. Satellites in their 2-3 defense. Pretty solid. They're getting to really every pass on the perimeter of the Calcs give. Are able to get it into that paint to really run their offense. But we have a 3 by Van Wheeler, but it's an air ball. Satellites touch it. So Calcs are here at the baseline for an inbound play. They take the long pass out of the 3-point as Mathis drives, but doesn't quite make his block by his Satellites. Great defensive play there. As they're running into their dribbling into traffic offense. And we have Lautenbach trying to overpower the Calcs there, but just couldn't quite get it in. As on the other end, he gets the rebound. Passes it. Derek Welsh to get the coast-to-coast layup to hopefully bring some energy to the Satellites. They're doing a great job on defense of just keeping those arms up, keeping their feet moving, and really understanding the Calcs offense and not letting it get into the paint. As the Calcs still pass it around the perimeter, I think the Satellites need to be a little bit more aggressive here because they're the ones that need to catch up on points. But they're doing a solid job. They're able to pass it in the paint and out for a 3, but they miss, and the Satellites get the rebound. Derek Welsh bringing the ball up.
Yeah, you definitely want to see some points here.
Yeah, as you see, hustle is still there. They're still running hard on their offense. Oh, and the pass in to Braden Grass. They call an offensive foul, though. I mean, the Calcs defense is good, too. They're, they are disciplined. They keep their feet set and their arms up in positions like that, which is exactly what you want them to do. Again, the Calcs passing around the perimeter, looking for that pass into the paint. As the Satellites stay in their 2-3. Arms up, doing a great job of not letting that ball get in the paint. There it is. With the miss off the backboard. Satellites get the rebound, bring it up. Trying to get that coast-to-coast layup. Doesn't quite make it, and just off the front of the rim. And the Kouts get the rebound. Trying to get their own layup. Dribbles out of bounds, I believe, there. A great opportunity for the Satellites to try and score here. We got Derek Walsh bringing it up. Passing it to Noah Howard. As they're passing it around, trying to see where that opening is. They get it into Grass, and he makes it. He makes the and one. A great play from the Satellites. That was a good pass there. You know, they passed with about 3 calcs there, and Grass still got it in. Was able to get that foul. I believe making the fouls 5-4 for the Kouts. And they get the rebound. Derek Walsh tried to get that, but hit the ground. Ooh, and the deep 3 and makes it. Deep 3 by
Oh, that's a dagger.
Just going to show how confident they really are. As the Satellites try to respond to that. Getting a layup, getting a solid pass to Welsh. Just off the glass, though, as Grass gets the foul call again, back at the line. Again, some pretty good offense there, don't you guys think, from the Satellites? Again, just their finishing just isn't quite there.
Right.
It hits just the back of the backboard for the first free throw. Next we have, I'm so sorry, number 11 is Lautenbach. Grass has not been in, he just got in. Lautenbach has been making a lot of plays here. As he makes the second free throw. Let's bring the ball up. Maybe looking for another deep 3. But they pass around the perimeter. Yeah, and another 3 they get. Like Garavala. Very cool name. It just slips out of Jack's hands for the turnover. And the Kouts bring it up. Probably going to go for another 3 here. They've been pretty on point with those. And, you know, the 2-3 is kind of tough on closing out. There's a lot of work on those top 2 players. And they take it in. Ooh, the long pass for the 3. Just off the opposite side of the rim. But they get the rebound. Back up for another 3. Not quite. A little too short. And the Satellites get the rebound. And they're bringing it up. Some passing around the perimeter into Lautenbach, but a little too high.
I feel like that sums up this game pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, just, you know, a little bit too much of everything, and they foul down at the block. Or not. You guys see what happened there?
I did not know.
I think maybe they call it travel, maybe a jump. Either way, the Satellites get the ball. No press from the Kouts in this fourth quarter. Kind of what you're expecting. Satellites bring the ball up. Looking around for any shot that they can get. Their offense has been able to score a little bit more in this fourth quarter. And the deep 2 doesn't quite get in, but they get the rebound. And the Kouts push it out of bounds. As we get Kevin Higley subbing in for Jack Aishel. And it just slips out of Lautenbach's hands for the Kouts to get the ball again. Passing around the perimeter. Just running that same offense of, choosing to get a three. Ooh, deep three they choose. A little short, or, hoping to pass it into the paint. But Kouts get the rebound. Another three. And it's good. Again, that's what we were talking about. Those rebounds are big. They're getting 3-4 chances to get the threes. Satellites try to respond, but it's just off the backboard, and the Kouts get the rebound, bringing it up. Satellites need a kind of aggressive defense if they want to score, but it looks like they're kind of just waiting the clock out as there's a few seconds left. I believe 71-31 is the score here. And the Satellites did a good job of not fouling towards the end.
Yeah.
And you hear the cheering of the Kouts as a solid game for them.
Yeah, definitely one of their best performances all year against a normally pretty solid South Central team. So it's just all about focusing on the next one, though.
Yeah, absolutely. They did lose their last game, so this is bringing up their energy as also first home game win of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's really a tough loss. They had that thrilling win last game, and then just coming into Kouts. I think they had a lot of confidence, but then Kouts, they really asserted themselves in this one, and yeah, they kind of blew them out.
Yeah, I mean, but you did see the Satellites just try to stay in it the whole time. They just had a few easy shots that didn't go in that I think would have made pretty big differences in this game of at least keeping it close. The few free throws missed too. Who do you think did the best on the Satellites team though? Who's your game ball gonna go to?
That's a good question. There were some things that I saw that I liked, but ultimately, I think my game ball is going to. That's hard, actually. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I
I'll give
think.
mine to Colton Bennett, I think.
Sorry?
I think I'm going with Bennett.
Yeah, I mean, he's a solid player. Got subbed out quite a bit, I think, in this game. Both the Welshes, I think, did a great job, too, with Lautenbach and Grass holding up the fort also. But
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go Lautenbach. I think he was in the right place at the right time. He just wasn't getting those passes he needed to work in the paint. Because he did get quite a few fouls there towards the end. What do you think, Dusty?
Yeah, I think I would also go with Lautenbach. I think he hit like a couple of threes in the game. Yeah, and he had a pretty decent performance.
All right, I think that ends the broadcast for today. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you at the next one.